I'm Alysse. I'm back doing another TrustedSite trust evaluation video. In case you missed the first one, we're doing this video series to help e-commerce sites understand how their sites are being perceived by visitors and what trust signals you need to include in order to build trust with your visitors and make sure they feel confident making a purchase from your site. And we're doing this by walking through the customer journey of different e-commerce sites and pointing out trust signals along the way. So let's get started. The site that we're going to be looking at today is called Cocofloss. I actually found them through a Facebook ad that caught my eye, so I thought I'd check them out. From what I understand, they sell eco-friendly flavored floss. I actually used to work in the dental industry, so I understand the importance of flossing and that everyone needs to do it. So this product is something that anyone can use. The first thing I'm going to be looking at here is off-page elements. So first up, we have the domain name, which is cocofloss.com. That's clear. It's the business name. It uses the .com domain, which people are most familiar with, so there shouldn't be any issues there. The next thing is SSL, which it looks like they do have a certificate based on the lock icon in the browser bar here. It is valid. The connection is secure. So that just means that when anyone inputs their information on this site, it's going to be transmitted with encryption, so that should keep it safe. The next thing we have is metadata. If you hover over here in the top, you can see it says luxury dental floss and floss subscriptions at Cocofloss. No typos there. That all looks good. So we'll give them a point for that. Responsive design. If we inspect the page here, we can see how it'll look on a mobile device. It does look like it's responsive. Everything adjusts. Nothing's cutting off in a weird way. I can clearly read everything. So it does look like their responsive design is pretty set. So we'll give them another point for that. Going back to the next item, which is professional or modern design. This does really look like professional, clean, modern design, really nice use of imagery and graphics and colors. So we'll give them another point for that. The next category we have is floating elements. The first thing is live chat. It doesn't look like they have that, but they do have a help widget, so we'll give them a point for having that. A lot of times people prefer having a live chat because it just gives consumers a more immediate way to chat with the people behind the business, and it helps to kind of show them that there are real people running it. However, not every site has the resources or manpower to operate a live chat, so that's okay. It looks like this help widget is powered by Zendesk. So let's say I type in something like price. Oops, I spelled that wrong. No search results for price. I kind of would expect to have something for that because I would think that's like a common question that people have. But you can leave a message and it'll send an email, and I'm sure you'll get a response in a couple of days from them, the latest. The next thing is reviews. It does look like they have a reviews widget here, powered by Yotpo. 5-star rating, which is awesome. And you can scroll through here and see that everyone seems to be really happy with their product and they're verified buyers, so that's really good to see. In terms of trust badges, I don't see anything else other than this Coco Rewards widget, which doesn't really fall into any of our trust badge categories. There's no security, no payment, no guarantee. Is this floating? I guess we could count this. Orders are $20 ship free. We could count that as a shipping policy indicator for this category, so we'll give them a point for that one. Nothing about returns. We already give them a point for having free shipping over $20 and no free returns. And also no other endorsement badges other than the ones that we saw with the Yotpo reviews. So it looks like we've given them all the points we can for the floating category. Let's go on to the next category, which is the header. Contact information, I don't see any. So no point for that. Yeah, no phone number, no email address, no physical address. They do have a high resolution logo, which is nice. Account login, they do have that. So we'll give them a point for there. Menu, there's no contact us or about us. There's a why Cocofloss that's kind of along those lines, but not exactly. So we won't give them points for that. Moving on to the next category, which is the footer. Let's scroll down here to the bottom. So let's see, contact information. They do have that here. They have their email. They have a phone number. I don't see a physical address, so we won't give them that point. They do have copyright with the current year, which is always important. You don't want to have an outdated copyright on your site. They do have a sitemap. I'll give them a point for that. They have a privacy policy. Yes, privacy notice. They have terms and conditions. They do have social media icons. In terms of trust badges, there aren't any other ones here. No security, no payment badges, no guarantees, unless I'm missing anything here, just from my quick scan. And no endorsement badges. So we'll skip those. Moving on to the next section, which is the homepage. So let's go back up to the top. So let's see if they have any logical product categories here. They do have like this rotating banner, which is interesting. And you can click through it to go back. I wouldn't necessarily classify this as product categories though. So let's see. Oh yeah, they have featured items, gift sets, benefits, wildlife. That's cool. Oh, so yeah, we can give them a point for having product categories here. Any user-generated content. Let's scroll through and see if we find anything. This seems to more be about the product. This is a cute little floss floating here. Dentists love Cocofloss. These seem to be testimonials. So we'll give them 1 point for that. Word of mouth press. That would count more of in another category here. Let's see. Yeah, under logos, I would say links to media outlets where your brand is featured. So that's awesome that they have kind of some buzz about their business. Any other user-generated content? This seems to just be their own personal feed. Yeah, so not user-generated. No real-time social proof notifications that I've seen. Customer logos. You wouldn't necessarily expect that for this brand because it's more of a consumer brand, but yeah, so we'll skip that. Next we already counted logos and I didn't see any co-branded logos, so we'll skip that. I didn't see any industry awards and I didn't see any new trust badges either. Let me just scroll through one more time really quickly to make sure I didn't miss anything. There is a little icon here, dentist approved. It looks like it's just kind of an in-house created badge. I guess we can count this as an endorsement badge, although there's not really any third party backing it per se, but they do back it up by having these reviews, the testimonials here. So I think that works great for them in this section. Okay, moving on from the homepage. let's go to category pages. So if we go here, let's just go to the main floss page. Shop all. Okay, so they have 10 different products. I don't see star ratings. Let's see. Shipping or returns notes, not seeing that. Sometimes it's nice to include a note here about shipping and returns because it just kind of gives the customer more expectations about, you know, what they can expect in terms of shipping. They do have the prices, which is the most important thing. So we'll give them a point for that. They do just still have this help and support, or just the help widget here at the bottom. That's a floating element. I wouldn't give them an extra point since we already counted that in the floating category. There is a sort, so they can have a point for that. And they do have some little in-house trust badges I saw here, like limited edition. But those are just more of an internal badge type thing. No security, no payment, no guarantees. And nothing more about the shipping policies or free shipping or returns, and no other endorsement badges. So we'll move on to the next section now, which is product pages. So let me click on what would I buy here? Why don't we just go for the 3 spool set? Okay, so we do have the price. We'll give them a point for that. There is a star rating. So it does look like they have individual product ratings, which is nice. They could always add that to the product category pages, which we just looked at a step earlier, just to help build trust even more before they get to this product page. Reviews, let's see what happens when we click the star rating. Yeah, they do have reviews here. Looks like there's a lot of different ways you can filter reviews, which is awesome. Yeah, same as kind of what we were seeing before when we looked at the reviews widget. So we'll give them a point for having reviews. I didn't see an expected delivery date, so no point for that. Product description, let's look at that. 3 spools of Cocofloss, uses vegan wax, coconut oil, free of parabens, learn more. So I think we can give them a point for product description. Do they have a product specifications? These are kind of just more features. I'll give them a point for that since they kind of detailed out what everything is here in the product description and in the benefits down there. This is an apparel, so we wouldn't have a size chart. I don't think I saw a Q&A section. Let me go back here. Yeah, just the reviews, which is fine. I don't think I saw any other type of trust badges or endorsement badges. They do have this guarantee here, Compass guaranteed. So I'll give them a point under the guarantee trust badge for that one. I don't see any other ones though, so we'll skip the security, payment, shipping, and endorsement badges. Okay, moving on to the about page. I didn't see that in the header before, so we'll look at the footer to see if they have an about page. They have an our story, so let's go to that one. Let's see. So this gives a little bit of background details about the founders of the company, the Koo sisters. So we can give them a point for company background. Let's see if it has location anywhere. I don't think I saw that. Yeah, no point for location because I don't see that. Leadership team, we'll give them a point for that because it talks about the two founders. I wouldn't say that's necessarily a staff profile though, so we'll skip that one. Company certifications, none of those. They do have their values here in this intro paragraph and philosophy, so 1 point for that. And in terms of trust badges, I don't see any other ones. No security, no payment, no guarantees here, and nothing about shipping or endorsements, so we'll skip those. In terms of logos, yeah, no logos here either, so we'll skip those points as well. Moving on to the Contact Us page. Let's see, do they have on our blog, our story? Doesn't seem like they have a Contact Us page, which is a little bit unusual. Why don't I go to the help and FAQ? Yeah, this is more of just a dedicated FAQ section. So that's something I would advise them to do. Even though you have your contact information here in the footer, I think it's always important to have a Contact Us page, just as a dedicated way for people to find you, especially linking that in the header, because that's where people are going to be looking first, and you want to catch their eye. So yeah, I would definitely recommend adding a Contact Us page there. Let's move on to the login page. Okay, so this keeps it really simple and basic. There's no third-party sign-in. Sometimes it's nice to have that because a lot of customers don't like opening accounts with so many sites, so they'd rather just keep it all under their Google account or Facebook account. It doesn't look like this site is providing that option, but that's okay. We just won't give them a point for that. They do have a forgot password link. That's super important. No other terms and conditions other than the one at the bottom of the page. It might be nice to add here as well, because sometimes people just kind of miss that in the bottom of the site footer. So kind of bringing it more to their attention of maybe writing it like right here would be perfect. Same thing for the privacy policy. It's also not drawn, there's no attention drawn to that here as well. There is a link to a create account page, so we'll give them a point for that. Let's go and look at that page now. Sign up. Again, no create account with third-party app. No terms and conditions. I would think that's important to add here as well, just because when you're creating an account with somebody, you want to know what they're going to be doing with your data. So that's something that could improve this page, along with the privacy policy. And same thing with, it would be nice to have some sort of explanation about what are the benefits of creating your account. Are they going to be able to track their orders easier, like see the status of if their orders has shipped, things like that. I've seen sites have a little, sometimes a little section off to the side here kind of explaining those account benefits. So won't give them a point for that, but something for them to consider adding. Next, let's move on to the shopping cart. So I'm going to go back and add a product to my cart. Why don't we go back to that page I was looking at previously and add this floss trio to my cart. We'll just go with mint flavor. Okay, so looks like we have a little pop-up cart here. I'm going to see if we have a dedicated cart page aside from the pop-up one. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so we'll just consider this to be the shopping cart page. It has a subtotal. It doesn't include, oh yeah, so it says shipping and taxes calculated at checkout. So we won't give them a point for having the order total because this is just a subtotal. It does have the order summary, which, it's just the item that I ordered along with a suggested item that they're wanting me to purchase as well. No promo code field here. A lot of times people like to have that at the cart stage because it helps them decide if they're going to be getting any discounts and whether or not they can afford the item. No third-party checkout. There is a product quantity field, so we'll give them a point for that. You can remove the product, another point for that. No save product for later. No expected delivery date. And no other trust badges, no security payment guarantee, no shipping. Actually, we'll give him a point for the shipping badge because there is this line here about it being calculated at checkout. So we'll give him that point, but no endorsement badges. Okay, let's move on to the checkout now. Okay, that was odd. I wasn't expecting to, so they do have a cart page. I would think that if you click the cart in this header here, that it would have taken me to this page before instead of opening the side bar. There's not a real issue with this, but it's kind of just adding an unnecessary step if you have both. So maybe consider, doing one or the other, either opening the sidebar and going directly to the checkout, or if you click the cart in the header, it should take you automatically to this page. So let's continue on to checkout. Okay, so now looking at the checkout page here, let's input my information I'm going to use. The info at TrustedSite.com. I don't necessarily want to stay up to date on news and offers. I have my address inputted here. So let's continue to shipping. Yes, I do want free shipping. Continue to payment. Okay, so now that we're at this stage, let's look at our trust signal. So we do have the order total, with including taxes, and we know the shipping's free. So we'll give them 4 points there. We also have the order summary at the top, so got that. In terms of expected delivery date, it doesn't say here. It would be nice to have that kind of called out on the side here. Let's go back to the shipping step though. It says it may take 5 to 10 days longer because of COVID. So, I mean, it's nice to have that warning, but it's still not very specific about, what's the standard shipping time in addition to the 5 to 10 days longer. So that's something they can consider adding just so that their customers are more aware of when they should expect their order to be delivered. This is a secure payment field. We have a little lock icon here. So we'll give them a point for that. Order review. Again, I think it's just this section here. That's what we're looking for. So we'll give them a point for that. Are there any terms and conditions? Yeah, they're down here at the bottom. They're a little bit hard to see with this light blue font color, but they are there. So I'll give them a point for that. In terms of trust badges, they have these credit card logos. So I'll give them a point for having payment logos. But no specific security logo or security badge that I'm seeing anyway. Again, with no guarantee badges, there's not a specific free shipping badge here other than just the shipping price here on the side, and no endorsement badges. So we will skip those points. Perfect. So that's kind of the end of our customer journey here. If I was actually a customer, I would input my credit card information and then hit pay now. Before we end though, let's look for a couple other items. The first one I usually like to look for, if we go back to the site, is I like to look for the FAQ page, which we already know that they have because we looked at that earlier, but let's just take one more look at it and just see kind of what sections they have. Okay, order questions, product questions, and a section for dental professionals. This was one of my questions during the checkout, so let's take a look. Okay, so they have their delivery time here. United States, it takes 3 to 10 days, Canada, 1 to 2 weeks. So it is nice that they have this information in the FAQ section, but not everybody is always going to take the effort to go seek out this information in the FAQ. So having it on your checkout page just saves your customer that time and energy and effort from having to go search for it themselves. You know, just present them the information exactly in the moment of when they're looking for it. Let's go back now and let's see if they have a blog. I believe I saw a link to it in their site footer, and it's in the header as well, which is nice. Let's go to the blog. Cool. They have trending, they have stuff about their company. They have some really nice imagery here. Interesting that they have recipes on their blog. Tooth Talk. These are more the kind of content I would expect to see with this brand. So we will give them a point for having the blog. We'll give and having recent content and quality content. And one last thing before I ever make a purchase from a new site is I like to check and see how many followers they have on social media. So let's go down here and check out their different profiles that were linked in their footer. Oh, I was taken to the Shopify Twitter. That's an issue. Okay, so the Facebook one link is correct. They have 24,000 likes. See on YouTube. Again, it's going to the Shopify channel. Let's see about Instagram. They do have their Instagram linked. 58,000 followers. So they do have a nice sizable following, but obviously I think they need to go back here and delete these links to Twitter and YouTube. You don't want to be sending your customers to the Shopify social media pages because that's not what they're expecting here. So if you don't have those accounts, then just simply remove the logos. If you do have the account, then add the correct link in. Great. So now that we've looked through all of our different categories and assigned all the points that we can give, I'm going to go ahead and tally up the points and give them their score. So I tallied up the points, and Cocofloss earned a grand total of 51 points, which puts them in our likely safe category. Sites in this category display a strong indication of trust. However, we always recommend to do your research before making a purchase. Cocofloss could easily earn a few more points by adding a Contact Us page, displaying their contact information in their header, displaying more user-generated content, and adding a third-party trust badge to show that an outside organization has endorsed their business. Overall, great effort by the Cocofloss team. I think I would feel comfortable making a purchase just because I went through the site myself and did my research. And hopefully they'll take some of our advice on how to add their trust signals to their site. If your site's interested in having us do a trust evaluation, just email me at Alysse@TrustedSite.com and we'll check it out.